Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Before the Bell, episode number 9. It's been 9 episodes, so we're close to number 10. As always, I'm your host, Matt Donato, and I say this every single week, but it always holds true. Throw those headphones in, sit back, relax, let me entertain you for 45 minutes, give or take. And I say give or take because you should know by now that I say 45 minutes, but I say I say give, but it's usually take. I usually go way over the time limit. Last week I said 45 minutes, ended up being an hour, so I could end up going way into overtime. I just love talking pro wrestling. Hopefully you love listening and tune in for that full hour. I do appreciate all of you who have been tuning in, but it's been really silent on your guys' end. I know you guys like talking wrestling too. I'm not here just to talk to myself. I want input. I want you guys to tell me how you feel. Disagree with me. Tell me you hate me. Tell me I talk way too damn much and you wish this show wasn't even a thing. I don't care. Tell me you hate my guts and wish I were dead. That's a little harsh, but hey, if that's how you're feeling, if that's what it gets to get you guys to talk, go for it. Throw a comment. Tweet to us. Facebook. You know the drill. Alright, that's enough of that. So, first things first, I've been trying to, I was racking my brain trying to figure out some topics. This isn't really a kind of show where I usually have set topics, but I like to think of certain things, that I would like to talk about. Some things just pop up, and there's not a whole lot in the way of news and rumors. It's been kind of a dry week or so. So, um, I think I'm just going to reiterate some of the stuff that I talked about on the Sharpshoot with Aussie, which I guest appeared on. Um, and it was definitely it was fun. I love the show. He does one hell of a job. And if you haven't already checked it out, it's right here on our YouTube page, Sharpshoot with Aussie. It's everything every single Thursday night. And breaking news on that front, Aussie has revealed that he's planning on doing the Sharpshoot live every week from now on at 7 p.m. Eastern. May change, may not. That's what's coming. That's the breaking news coming out from his end. It's just a much better way to connect with fans, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. And maybe I can make some more guest appearances in the future. But I wish him the best of luck. It is definitely one of the best shows on YouTube. Obviously, behind Before the Bell, because this is definitely the best show on YouTube. There's no doubt about that. Except you guys don't want to communicate back with me. You just like hearing me talk. That's fine. I like talking, if you haven't already gathered that. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Luke Harper. We talked about Luke Harper on the Sharpshoot with Aussie, and the question posed to me was whether or not I felt whether I thought he should be an Intercontinental Champion. That was the gist of the question. And my response was simple. I'm just kidding. If you know me, that's complete bullshit. My responses are never simple. They're always very complicated and in-depth and take an hour for me to actually get out. But my response was something to the effect of, I definitely would like to see Luke Harper as an Intercontinental Champion. I definitely think he could definitely be one. I just said definitely like 30 times. But I definitely think he could be one. I just wanted to make sure I got enough definitely's in there. Just so you know how serious I am about this. I definitely think he could be Intercontinental Champion. Doesn't mean I think he should. I think he definitely has the look and the ability and the potential. But here's the thing that I was saying and that Aussie, agreed with. He shouldn't hold the title if he doesn't have any character development. If he just comes in as Luke Harper from the Wyatt family and there's no real build, no repackaging, no nothing like that, then I don't think it's a good idea. And I compared it to that of, well, first and foremost, Eric Rowan doesn't seem to have any kind of change. He's still Eric Rowan from the Wyatt family, and that scares me for Luke Harper. Eric Rowan doesn't really have the ability right now to be on his own. He's kind of walking like he on Raw. He walked out in the middle of the Adam Rose match. She's not here, and then just walked away. Really weird, odd promos. I don't know if they're going to be a tag team. I don't know if they're going completely solo. We've said it multiple times before they even broke off that Eric Rowan is not ready. Luke Harper is definitely ready. He's got the in-ring ability. He's got the mic ability. They just need to do something with him. They need to find him a character that works. And, like I was saying with Roman Reigns, I was comparing him to Roman Reigns. I've said this multiple times on Before the Bell. He's not going to be successful because they haven't given him his own identity. That's the problem. He doesn't have his own identity. When Roman Reigns comes out, all you think of is Roman Reigns from The Shield. He still comes out in the same riot gear, still comes out in the same Kids Bop version of his theme song, as Aussie likes to say. And it's just not good. We don't know who Roman Reigns is. You cannot relate to somebody that you don't know. With that being said, I also compared it to that of what would happen if Hulk Hogan, when he went back to his solo career, was still wearing NWO's attire, was still coming out to the NWO theme song. What would happen if when Triple H went back to his solo career after leaving DX again, was still with the glow sticks and with the DX theme song and still wearing the DX merchandise? It would be confusing. It wouldn't make any sense. And it's the same thing. You can't break a guy away from a tag team but still kind of keep him in that realm, especially a team that was as popular as the Shield. I know the approach behind it, and I understand it to a degree. They didn't feel like this guy, out of all three of the members, Roman Reigns definitely needed the most work. That's absolutely true. So in order to, because this is the guy you want to push, there's no doubt about it. When he first came on the scene, I was impressed by him. I've been impressed by his abilities for a long time. He's got a lot of skill in that ring for a big guy. He's got the look, and he's got the potential on the mic. He's just not there. So how do you get him over with the fans? You push him when he's not ready, or do you wait, build him up, teach him how to be on the mic, teach him how to wrestle in the ring, and then start to push him? I just feel like they pushed him way too fast. I think they got overzealous, overexcited, pushed him way too quickly, and he wasn't ready for that. And I think they knew way before they started pushing him that he wasn't ready, so it boggles my mind that they would think that it was a smart move to push him that soon. And especially when you haven't given him his own identity. We don't know who he is. The success of Stone Cold Steve Austin is largely in part of his relatability. We can relate to him. We can relate to The Rock. We can relate to Triple H. All these guys gave us something that we can relate to. They entertained us on the mic. They kept our attention. Roman Reigns does none of those things. So what makes you think that pushing him, look at the fan reaction from when he was within the Shield to now, and it's not that impressive anymore. Nobody cares anymore. Everybody's tired of Roman Reigns. Nobody cares about him coming back either. His theme song is lackluster, and just everything about him is stale already, and he hasn't even been a solo competitor for that long. He shouldn't be stale. And that's my fear for Luke Harper. Yeah, I'm getting back to my original topic. I go off, if you're new, I go off into these rants, I go way off into these tangents, but don't worry, I like Lassie, I find my way home. I find my way back. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know you were scared for a minute. You didn't think I was going to find my way back. You felt like you were going to be stuck in this never-ending Roman Reigns rant. I promise. You're not. I'm getting to my point. Luke Harper. I'm just afraid that he's going to suffer the same fate because of what's going on with Eric Rowan. I'm just always afraid that this is the path that they're going to take. They're going to push him too quickly because they see potential. And instead of waiting and building on that potential to really make sure that they're taking a calculated risk, instead of just taking a risk, they're just going to throw him out there and say, oh, let's see what he can do. And I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready because the speculation is that he's gonna be feuding with Dolph Ziggler. That's where this topic comes up. That's what people have been asking because his vignettes have been playing immediately. I don't know if it's before. I can't remember if they were before or after Dolph Ziggler's matches, but they're in correlation with Ziggler's matches. So people are wondering if that's going to be what the next feud is, and it seems pretty likely. So that's where this Intercontinental Championship. He's not ready right now. I don't like him to win the title anytime soon. I don't think it's a good idea for him to win that title anytime soon because we don't know anything about him. And that one line that he cut at the ending of Raw, for me, was very anticlimactic. I don't like the way he said it. It really turned me off. It didn't ruin the Raw, but it ruined that segment for me. Turned a really, really powerful segment into something that, I'm not saying it was a terrible segment. I was excited to see Eric Rowan because I actually thought it was going to be Cesaro, but it ended up being, or not Eric Rowan. Oh my God, I'm confusing myself. I apologize. I'm talking about Luke Harper here, not Eric Rowan. To hell with Eric Rowan. He's not ready for nothing. Just sit him in the back and give him a Snickers or something. I'm talking about Luke Harper. When I saw Luke Harper, I got excited. I don't get excited when I see Eric Rowan. I get kind of, I don't know, disgusted and kind of creeped out. But, when I saw Luke Harper, I'm like, cool, they're going to start pushing him. And then he says, I'm a team player. Weird way to say it. Didn't fit his character at all. Made zero sense as far as he's concerned. I'm just kind of confused of why that even happened that way. But I'm going to let it go. It happened. Hopefully that's not... I don't even know what kind of character that would be. It was just weird. Hopefully it's not what we see the following week. Hopefully they're not literally repackaging him to the point where he's completely different, because that wouldn't make sense either. That's like the complete other end of that spectrum. You don't give him a character at all, or you give him too different of a character. That's not going to work either. You're literally repackaging him completely, and that's not going to work. You need to give the fans what they know. We know him as Luke Harper from the Wyatts, but you need to just kind of give him his own identity. That's it. So I'm hoping they do that. If they can do that successfully, and the fans start to react to him, the fans start to get to know him, and I don't know about relate necessarily, but, are entertained by him. He's talking more and more every week, and he's really, they're really building him right, and the booking is there, then I see no problem with him taking the Intercontinental Championship. That's just my opinion. I'm interested to know what you guys think, though. Do you think that he's ready for this title? Do you think that he should, at some point in his career, maybe it's now, maybe it's a month down the road, maybe it's a year down the road? What do you guys think? Do you think that he should ever hold the Intercontinental Championship? Curious to know what you guys think, so leave a comment in the description. You can message me on Facebook. You can tweet me on Twitter. And if you want to know how to do all of that stuff, they're all linked in the description. They're always linked in the description. So click on each link is highlighted. Click them all. So that way you can follow, you can like, and you can, and right here, subscribe. And then the other link is straight to ropebreakwrestling.com. You can bookmark us. That way you'll never have to search through the garbage heap of news and rumors from all those other sites. We only have the best here at Rope Break, because that is what we do, as Mark Henry might say. Alright, moving along, I kind of wanted to also talk about Ryback joining Team Cena, and the Authority. Kind of touched on this on React. Not really a huge fan of the teams. Not that excited for this match, to be quite honest. There's nothing that makes me super excited, that makes me want to pay, thinking solely as a WWE fan who doesn't have the network, or either can't afford to buy the network, hasn't purchased it for some reason, or lives somewhere in the UK, because obviously the WWE hasn't got it there yet. So with that being said, thinking in terms of people who have to actually pay for the paper. You have to pay the $59.99, you know, to watch Survivor Series, or is it $69.99? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually had to order a pay-per-view, so I don't remember the pricings. I don't know if Survivor Series is more. I know Mania is much more expensive. I can't remember if Survivor Series is just as expensive or not, because it's one of the big four. But there's nothing that would get me excited as a fan, because you got to think in terms of people who are still buying the pay-per-views, because even if you have availability of the network and you can purchase it, some people just don't want to. People just would rather dish out the 59.99 or 55.99, I don't remember, but whatever the price is, dish out that big chunk of change to order the pay-per-views, which I think is kind of silly, but that's just my opinion. Because the quality of the stream on the network really isn't that bad. It really does depend though um, on your internet speed and your bandwidth. That really is a huge factor. Um, I know I've watched the network where I am now, and my internet is shoddy at best. And I mean, all things considered, it really didn't lag that much. And there were obviously a few issues here and there, but it was much better, and the quality was much better than any stream that I've watched on my laptop. That is for sure. I watched it on my PS3 because I can't afford a PS4 or Xbox One because I am poor. When we say at Rope Break that we're ballers on a budget, that we're doing this out of our own pockets, that we're just like, we're not kidding. We're not rich. We wish we were rich. Our giveaways would be, well, I can't say a hell of a lot better. Yeah, we would love to do giveaways to pay-per-views and things like that. That's a goal for down the line. That's something I think that we all want to eventually be able to do huge big giveaways like that. That's something for the future. But right now we're eating ramen and hot dogs on Wonder Bread. We can't afford hot dog rolls. Right now we're eating on Wonder Bread. We're eating our burgers on Wonder Bread. Kidding me? Man, my mom made me a burger and she put peppers in there. All my other friends had McDonald's. All right, I'm getting way off topic here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about right there, then go check out Eddie Murphy. Um, I can't remember if that was Delirious or Raw, but either way, go check out both. That's that's what that was. And if you're living under a rock if you haven't seen those. Okay, so back to topic. Team Cena and Team Authority Ryback. Um, like I said, I don't know how I don't really like the teams. I knew these were coming because we broke the news on the only difference between the news we broke and what's going on now is Cesaro was pictured on the poster for Survivor Series for Team Authority. That's why I thought it was going to be Cesaro who threw Ziggler in, since they did have that rivalry. But obviously now it's Luke Harper. I'm wondering why they decided that change. But it seems like um, also that this is also another reason why people are talking about him versus Ziggler for the IC title, is because of that, after Raw incident. But I mean, it's just a standard. It literally reminds me of a tag team match. It reminds me of something that Teddy Long would come up with on a SmackDown, on any given SmackDown. You know, you have 10 guys in the ring brawling it out, or it starts off as a singles match between John Cena and I don't know what, Kane, and then Team Authority comes in and starts fighting, and then four other guys come out to help Cena, and they're beating each other up. Then Teddy Long comes out, holla holla, we're gonna turn this into a 5-on-5 tag team match, playa. And that's how I'm pretty sure Teddy Long booked this match. That's seriously what it sounds like to me. Teddy Long booked this damn match because it to me doesn't add up. I don't care to see Big Show and Mark Henry. I just don't. That's it's just like everything in this match is a filler. The only thing keeping this a little bit alive for me is the stipulation of the Authority, if they lose, then they're gone. It's that understory, and I don't even care about the outcome of the match because I know Team Authority is gonna win. How they're gonna win, I don't know. That's the only interesting part, and the underlying story of the little bit of that power struggle between the Authority and Vince. I mean, it's slightly there. It's kind of that like that spark, and like Alec was pointing to, kind of that power struggle almost that we see not starting yet, but like the beginnings of a possible power struggle between Stephanie and Triple H. Vince giving them both different advice, and it'll be interesting to see where they go. Um, Only thing keeping me alive, but like I said, I don't care about Kane in this match. I don't care about Big Show or Mark Henry. I don't care about. Um, Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm bored with Ziggler. I don't really care about Ziggler in this match either. I don't really think it does anything for him. Doesn't make this match any more appealing to me anyway. I mean, and now they've added Ryback, who I just think we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, there really hasn't been much character development with him either. He's come back, cool. He's getting this big push. Happy to see it. I think he has potential, but then I think they're still falling short. I just feel like it's going to be another dud. They're not letting him talk. I mean, he says his catchphrases over and over, and that's it. That's not enough to get me interested. It's the same thing like I was saying before. With Luke Harper, with Roman Reigns, I don't know Ryback. I need to know Ryback for me to be, for me to be able to relate to him. And I don't know anything about him other than feed me more, the big guy, Ryback rules. Literally all I know. Oh, and John Cena doesn't sign the bottom of his paycheck. I just found that out. I didn't know that until Ryback said it. I always thought John Cena did, but I was wrong. Um, but I'm still holding out hope. I hope they don't screw him up again, but the cynic in me is, you know, I'm being critical of it, I know, but I think it's going to be another dud. And none of these duds have been his fault. It's all been terrible booking by the WWE. They had something with him when he was the bully, and then they did nothing with it. They teamed up with Heyman. Then they had something with him when he was with when Ryback was with Curtis Axel as Rybaxel. He started coming out on main event and circling the ring and then just leaving out of nowhere. And he had that crazy um, Psycho Sid type character to him, and I was excited for it. And then they dropped the ball. He was tweeting. He was tweeting like a madman, and really getting people excited. And then they did nothing with him. It's like you have all this attention. You're literally. It couldn't have been easier for them to push him, and then they did nothing. It just boggles my mind. It makes no sense to me that they have. It's on a silver platter here. Here's Ryback on a silver platter. Fans are interested in him. All you have to do is exploit that a little bit. But then again, the WWE, when they exploit people, they go overboard. They see dollar signs, and then that's all that they see. And then they end up running it into the ground. So, not interested in Team Cena versus the Authority right now. Don't care about anybody on that team. Um, I mean, I don't know where they're gonna. The only thing I'm holding out for is for a Brock Lesnar interference because I don't think the Authority is gonna win fairly. I think they're gonna call in Brock Lesnar, um, because that would only make sense to me. They need to have a backup plan. I think they're gonna have a backup plan. I think that's gonna be it. Brock Lesnar's gonna come out at the end. Um, you know, I lied. I did forget one. I am interested in seeing Seth Rollins. He's the only guy in this entire match I'm actually interested in seeing. But and it's cool that he's a leader. I think that's good for him that they're giving him that role. And oh, I can't forget about Orton. I did forget about Orton. See, I'm not perfect. This isn't a perfect show. I forgot about Orton. I think that'll be interesting, but I don't really think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be kind of predictable. I think he's just gonna come out and maybe he takes Seth Rollins out. That's what I'm seeing happening. And then Big Show and Mark Henry take each other out. And then Luke Harper and Ziggler take each other out. And then it's just left to Kane and Cena. AA to Kane. Cena's going to win. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits and he gives the F5 to Cena. And Kane pins Cena. Done. Team Authority wins. Blah, blah, blah. Over with. And we can move on. That's my prediction. Could be completely off. But that seems pretty likely to me. With that being said, got that out of the way. I kind of just wanted to touch on that, even though I've talked about it a million times. I did want to, as we're roughly hitting a little bit past the 25-minute mark here, I did want to talk about this. And it's going to be a rant, because I can't have it before the bell without me ranting and completely screaming at the WWE because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. Alright, I've been holding this in since I found out last week that this was going on. A lot of you have heard, and if you haven't heard, like I say all the time, you must be living under a rock because it's all over the internet. You must not truly be a fan of Rope Break because you would have seen it, because we have posted it as soon as it came out, because we're good like that. But just in case for some reason you missed it, maybe you were busy, maybe you had some kind of checker tournament, or I don't know, maybe you're busy crocheting with grandma, or who knows, maybe you're busy, I don't know. But get ready for it. The WWE thought it was a great idea to have Grumpy Cat. If you don't know what Grumpy Cat is, God bless you. Google it and ruin your life. Grumpy Cat is going to be guest hosting Monday Night Raw this week. Nothing against Grumpy Cat, and I was only kidding about Grumpy Cat ruining your life. It's just a cat that has some kind of mental illness, and I don't know, its facial expression always makes it look grumpy. That's pretty much for you guys who don't know what Grumpy Cat is. For those of you who do know Grumpy Cat, he's, he's part of all kinds of memes. And he is funny. I'm not going to deny that I haven't laughed at a few of his memes, but Monday Night Raw is not the place for him. It's just fucking ridiculous to me. It pisses me off because I envision the WWE as a bunch of old, out-of-touch white men, all in their, fucking 90s, who are so out of touch with pop culture, and they think they're so great at it, because everything that they do in the WWE that has to do with pop culture is so out of touch in the fact that it's so over with by the time that they get to it that it just doesn't make sense anymore. Like the Keep Calm shirts for John Cena. Those haven't been popular forever. People still use them, yeah, but they're not why didn't you do this when it was first big? Why did you wait years after it was popular to start selling these shirts? It just makes sense. Grumpy Cat. Yeah, his memes are still around, but he's not even close to as popular as he used to be. So why the hell are you waiting this long to capitalize on it? It makes no sense. You're so out of touch with reality. It's fucking ridiculous. And furthermore, without even out of the way, I don't even give a shit how out of touch you are. The fact that this is even going to be on Raw pisses me off. It's got nothing to do with wrestling. That I get pissed off whenever anybody that's not wrestling related jumps onto a Monday Night Raw. I get business-wise it makes sense. It's publicity for the company. But I just think it's stupid. I think it's pointless. There's no need for it. You don't need Florida fucking Georgia Line on there who are garbage to begin with. And I'm sorry if you're a fan of Georgia Florida Line. I'm not sorry that I insulted you. I'm just sorry that you're a fan of Georgia Florida Line because they're terrible. Do you actually listen to their music? Or instead of listening to their music, I want you to take the CD that you just bought, if you're a fan of theirs, because if you just bought their CD and you're not a fan of theirs, I'm questioning your judgment right now. But take the CD that you just bought. I want you to go into your kitchen and I want you to put it into a blender and I want you to hit turbo. That is what I hear whenever I hear them on the radio or I hear them on some sort of television show singing. That's what I hear. They're garbage. When did this rant on Grumpy Cat turn into a rant on Florida Georgia? They didn't even do anything, and I'm just like, fuck them. To hell with them. Who cares? They didn't even do anything to deserve it, and I don't give a shit. It's my show. I'll hate on whoever I want to hate on. They're doing their thing. Whatever. Listen to them if you want. I just question your judgment again. But it just makes no sense to me. There's no point. It's not wrestling related. It's boring. It's stupid. There's no reason to have this on TV. The Muppets didn't belong there. Grumpy Cat doesn't belong there. You know, fuck one and fuck two from Who Gives a Shit talk show that were on there breaking bottles on their asses. That was just so pointless. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. And these are people who hated the WWE, who has talked out against the WWE, and then we're inviting them on their show. It's all about money these days, and that is what's pissing me off. It's not even the fact that they think this is a good idea. It's the fact that they don't care that fans don't want to see this. They don't really care what fans want to see. Their hope is we're going to put Grumpy Cat on TV, and we're hoping that people who like Grumpy Cat will now tune into Monday Night Raw, and start watching wrestling. That's never fucking worked. As long as wrestling has been alive. I don't know who keeps coming up with this, and who keeps thinking these publicity stunts are a good idea. Because it's very rare that you find somebody who's never watched wrestling before, who's going to turn the channel on, or who's never heard of wrestling before. Pretty much everybody's heard of wrestling. And if they're not really tuning into it now, there is a very high chance that they're probably never going to watch it. And if they do watch it for Grumpy Cat, it's only for Grumpy Cat, and they're going to turn it off, and they're never going to come back. So you are wasting your time. You're trying to get ratings for each individual episode instead of just it's ridiculous. I can't even explain to you guys how much this drives me crazy. The fact that all they have to do is just improve the quality of the show and people will watch. That's it. You want ratings to increase? Make your show fucking good. That's all it takes. Make it good and I will watch. Grumpy Cat's not going to make people watch. It's just these 80-year-old, 90-year-old, the same people that run Congress in the United States, I swear, are the same people that are running the WWE right now, because they're so out of touch with reality. It's sickening. It's just disgusting to me. And it just, I don't get it. It's just ridiculous. I don't want to see Grumpy Cat. I know there were people who, oh, this could be a funny segment. Don't worry about it. Don't get so upset. It's only going to be a 5-minute segment or a quick, Even still, I don't want to see it. I'm not interested in seeing it. How about you develop storylines first? If the show was more entertaining, I would have no problem with it. That's the thing. I would have no problem with some of these guest appearances if the show itself was more entertaining. But the show itself, it sucks. Stop focusing on publicity and start focusing on making the show good, because you're bringing the people in, but then they're like, this show sucks. I'm not staying. So how about you work on making the show good and making it actually worth watching, and then you bring people in, because bringing people into a shit show isn't really a good business plan. It's not going to make you a lot of money, hence the budget cuts. WWE does not know what the hell they're doing. Seriously, somebody hire me. I will fucking turn this bitch around, and I will make it a show worth watching. God, I hate the WWE sometimes. I love pro wrestling, but the WWE just pisses me off with their ignorance. And their arrogance, too, thinking, I don't give a shit about the fans. It's just like they care more about publicity and making as much money as possible than they do about giving the fans what they want, but what they're not understanding is once you give the fans what they want, you're going to get more ratings, more publicity, more money. It just seems like the simpler route. You're doing 3, 4, 5 different things on one hand. The other one, you're only doing one, and the payoff is exactly what you would get on those 5 other things. Less work for more profit. Makes more sense to me. And you got guys on your team who know how to write good shows. I don't know. Alright, we're at about the 35-minute mark. We got about 10 minutes to go here. I'm going to try to keep this within 45 minutes. I'm exhausted. I got to get up for work tomorrow, so I really would like to try to keep this 45 minutes. I might actually be successful. This might be one of the first ever episodes that I actually was able to keep it in within 45 minutes and not go over. Now that I just said that, I'm going to jinx myself. And anyway, there is one rumor that I did want to talk about, and it's not really technically a rumor, because I guess it is actually going to happen, and that is that Roman Reigns, I think they said, don't quote me on this, but it's definitely in December. I want to say December 8th. Roman Reigns is not making a return to Raw or SmackDown, but he will be performing at house shows. That doesn't mean he's not going to be returning at Survivor Series or after Survivor Series, or if he's going to make his return before that. But he is scheduled to wrestle at a couple house shows December 8th through whenever. The person that he's scheduled to be wrestling at those house shows is Rusev, which is leading to the assumption that this is going to be Roman Reigns' first feud coming back. My question I'm posing to you guys is, do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that pinning Roman Reigns against an undefeated guy like Rusev is a smart idea? I personally don't think it's a bad idea. I think that, same thing with Luke Harper though. Like I was saying earlier, we need to have character development with Roman Reigns. Hopefully they use this opportunity to build on Roman Reigns' character, to start making him more relatable. Hopefully these acting lessons are helping. And if he can do that, and they can build on a powerful character that actually makes me interested to watch this fight, then I think a victory over Rusev, that's the only outcome I can see here. A victory over Rusev would be huge. That's the push that we're looking for Roman Reigns. That's the push that he needs, as long as his character is there. If his character is there, and we're getting good development, and he's becoming more relatable, his mic skills are improved, and his in-ring isn't 5 moves of doom, and he's starting to really improve and get my attention and get the fans' attention again, then yes, a victory over Rusev could be huge. I think a feud between the two would be huge. Who's going to stop Rusev? Roman Reigns returns. I would be excited for that match. And like I said, I think a victory over Rusev could and should be huge, as long as the development is there, as long as his character is built properly, as long as he is given his own identity. That is it. If he comes out and beats him as the Shield, that's all I see him as the Shield. I don't see him as Roman Reigns. I see him as the Shield. Then it's not going to be as powerful as it could be, and it's going to be a waste. That's what I'm worried about. That's what WWE is known for, wasting time. So, like I said, could be worthwhile as long as they give him his own identity. I'm interested to know what you guys think. I'm always interested to know what you guys think. So, please leave me a comment in the comment section, obviously, and on Facebook, on Twitter. Like I said, it's all linked in the description, but if you're too lazy to look, then I'll tell you right now where you can go. You can go to facebook.com/ropebreakwrestling. You can go to twitter.com/ropebreakwrestling. You can always find both those links on ropebreakwrestling.com, and while you're there, bookmark us. Like I said, save yourself the trouble having to dig through that garbage heap of other news and rumor sites, because they're not as good as us. They're not. They're just not. We're far better. We do more. We do podcasts. We do giveaways. We do it all. Rope Break is the place to be. And before I forget, I want to make sure that I say this because it's very, very important that I say this, and I say it every episode. I always say it on Before the Bell. Always say it on React because it is always true. And I want to make sure I let you guys know this. And if you're new to rope break, then it's okay if you don't know this yet. I'm going to teach it to you. But if you've been a rope breaker for a long time and you know about rope break, and you're still choosing to ignore this, then that's because you're stupid. Yeah, I just called my fans stupid. I called the rope breakers stupid. I love you guys, but you're being stupid. It's simple. If you're a fan of rope break and you've got friends who know nothing about us, have never been to our Facebook page, have never been to our Twitter page, have never seen our website, have never listened to any of our podcasts, or have never been a part of any of our awesome guys, we've given away so much stuff. We've given away a bunch of different DVDs. We've given away action figures. We've given away posters. We've given away different toys, and you name it. We've given away t-shirts. We've given away everything you can think of. We gave away some serious action figures for last year's WrestleMania. And for Survivor Series, we're giving away, we're getting close. If by Survivor Series we reach 3,000 likes on Facebook, we'll be giving away a copy of 2K15 for the console of your choice. Whatever console you choose, we'll get it to you. So get to it. And while you're at it, tell your friends about us. Because if you're not telling your friends about us and you're just holding it all for yourself, you're being selfish and you're being neglectful to your friends, and that's not fair. They deserve to be able to live the rope break lifestyle. And like I always say, if you're not living the rope break lifestyle, then you're not really living. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you're being biased. You run this website. You write for this website. You created this website with your two buddies. You want this to be successful, so of course you're going to talk up rope break wrestling. You're right, I am going to talk it up, but it's got nothing to do with me being biased. I stand by what I say because I truly believe it, and that, my friend, is not me being biased. That is just a fact of life. Now, you can go over to the bleachers, you can go cage side. You really have you have my blessing. Go wherever you want, but I promise you that you're going to feel something missing everywhere you go. And you're going to slowly realize that it is the truth, that there is no better place to be than in the ring with rope break. We have our podcast. We have the Sharpshoot with Aussie every single Thursday, now going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have React every single Monday night immediately following Raw, hosted by Alec Kozubski. And then, of course, you have Before the Bell, hosted by yours truly, Matt Donato, which you can get every single Friday, noonish, give or take. It's always give or take with me, because you never know. I always leave you guessing. That's my thing. I leave you guessing. But I'm telling you guys, we do our best to give you the best. I mean, hell, you can go elsewhere if you want, and you can read about Stephanie McMahon breaking her nail working out. But the fact of the matter is, as The Rock says, it doesn't matter about Stephanie McMahon breaking her nail. Who gives a shit about that? Why would you want to go? Then you got to sift through all the garbage, and you got to read these bullshit articles that nobody cares about. Come over to Rope Break. No bullshit. We dig through the dirt for you, and we give you the gold. All of it. We keep none for ourselves. We give you the gold. We find the best rumors we can find, and we don't just post things until we know that they're accurate. That's why we may not always be the fastest, but we pride ourselves on trying to be the most accurate. As accurate as rumors can get, because at the end of the day, they are just rumors. They're not fact. We don't try to tell you they're fact unless we know they're fact, because they're rumors. So take them for what they are, and don't kill the messenger. You don't get mad at the mailman for bringing you bills, do you? I mean, if you do, that would make no sense. He didn't give you those. He didn't write those bills. He didn't make up those bills. He's just delivering them to you. Just like us, we didn't make up the rumors. We're just delivering them to you because that's all we know. That's what we do here at Rope Break, and we're trying to be the best at it. What other site does podcasts? What other site gives awesome news like that? What other sites comes to you and asks for your opinion and wants this to be for the fans, by the fans? What other site does giveaways? None. Not in the bleachers, not cage side, nowhere. And that's fine. That's because Rope Break is the best. We're here to take over. So check us out. And as Alex says, like, share, and subscribe to this bitch. That we need to make a t-shirt. Because that is an awesome saying. Like, share, subscribe to that bitch. Gotta love it. And thank you guys for tuning in to Before the Bell. This has been episode number 9. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Click on those links. And as always, I will see you guys again next week. Same exact time, same exact place.